So today we shall look at fungi, that's in classification. Then we shall have some part of genetics. So when we start with the classification, that's we shall have a question. So it goes fungi. When you look at the fungi, they were originally classified under kingdom plant. That time before classification was completely done. So they are asking us, fungi were originally classified under plant kingdom. Then they are saying outlying features of fungi that made it necessary to replace them in their own kingdom. So now, why fungi was placed in its own kingdom? So we shall look at specific reasons. So we shall have fungi. We look at fungi, then we look at the plant kingdom in which it was originally classified. So we shall see that in plants we have chlorophyll, whereas the other side of the fungi they lack the chlorophyll. So we shall have so that reason is enough for us not to classify fungi under kingdom plants. The fungi lack chlorophyll. Another thing we can look at, basing on the chlorophyll they lack, so meaning they are heterotrophic. They use heterotrophic nutrition, basically saprophytic, whereas the other side of plants they are autotrophic. So meaning we cannot put them under the same kingdom. So that can make us to classify fungi in its own kingdom. Another thing, when you look at the plants, they have very many means of reproduction. Plants can use pollination, that's in flowers, what. But then when we see this side of fungi for them reproduce, they reproduce asexually. So we cannot classify them with the many plants that reproduce sexually. And then reproducing asexually, they basically reproduce by means of spores, which is not basically used in plants. So that can be a reason why we cannot classify fungi under kingdom plant. Then, when we look at the storage, the fungi themselves, they store carbohydrates in the form of glycogen. Store carbohydrates in form of glycogen, which is not the basis when we look at the other side of plants. For the plants, they store carbohydrates in the form of starch. Therefore, we cannot classify these organisms in the same kingdom. So that can be basically an example of such. Then another reason, when you look at the plants, these fungi bodies usually mycelium. This is whereby we see that the body of fungi, when we look at the molds, the rhizopus, what, these organisms, their body is usually mycelium in the form of thread-like structures. So when we look at the plants, we cannot again classify these organisms in the same. We cannot classify these organisms in the same kingdom. Then another part of this question is basically asking us, the question basically goes, Why fungi are widespread and form in vast numbers. They're asking us why fungi are widespread. Before I need to make an introduction of this. This is Maxwell Entertainment Group. It presents many items over entertainment. Entertainment. We do education. We produce items over school times. The church will be included. All these are playlists that we have. We do live shows. These are playlists that will be included. So make sure that you subscribe to this channel. It is there to make your life easy and great. So we are here simplifying. This is biology. We shall do biology, chemistry. The timetable is produced all over the groups that you might come across, WhatsApp groups, math, and then physics, even TB. Those are the subjects we can be taking you via this section of education. We are there to make your life easy. So now the question is asking us, then basically what you should know that our channel is not yet broad. So they requested us to have 50 subscribers in order for us to start having live chats, because without the 50 subscribers we cannot. So mobilize your friends so that we can grow our channel big, so that we can reach this number. Then we start having live chats over the YouTube channel. Then these videos will be submitted to you wherever you are through the YouTube channel. So let us continue with our biology. So, why fungi are widespread? Fungi, these are organisms that reproduce by spores. So we see that they produce spores in large numbers. So reproduce asexually. Reproducing asexually, mainly by means of spores. So these spores are produced in large numbers. So these organisms are able to multiply in large numbers. Then the spores produced are light. These can be blown by wind from one place to another, and therefore enabling them to colonize new areas easily. Then they are saprophytic feeders. For one, they feed saprophytically. Feeding saprophytically, this enables the organisms to have. This enables these organisms, since they feed saprophytically on organic matter, which is plenty already available. Therefore, they can easily multiply in numbers, and they are existing in the widespread and the vast numbers. Then, the spores they produce, they can remain dormant for a given period of time, and therefore survive adverse conditions. Then, when we look at we have looked at the dormancy, even their zygospores. Remember, when these spores germinate, they germinate into the zygospores, which can also be dormant for a certain period of time and therefore survive adverse conditions. Then, that is all we can talk about why these organisms exist in large numbers and in vast numbers. They're asking us the next question. Remember, this was a question of explain. The question was telling us to explain. When explaining, you have to give detailed information about your answers, because this is biology. As you know, biology is hard wherever you may go. So